Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in here. Murder Church on the air on a Sunday morning. What's going on? What's going on? Give it a share. Do all the things. Hit the like. We're getting ready to rock and roll right now with episode 3, starting out with a James Geiger 911 caller, and I believe this is the neighbor of Dan Markell. So yeah, I believe we saw him on Friday come up in the Donna Adelson trial. So yeah, welcome in. We're going to be getting started right now.
Let's rock.
Good morning, everybody. We have made it. We've made it to Sunday. Made it to another day. Well, I'm glad that the congregation could show up. I see a lot of beautiful, fine people hanging and banging already in the chat. I need to set up the chat here. Boom, so I can pop these up on the old screen and see what I'm looking at. Hold on. Glad Botrix woke up this morning. That's a plus. Who we got in here? Dave, coming through. Starting his morning right, I see. Leia coming through. Jersey Jen in the house. Yes, some new emojis. Jen showing off right there. The puzzle piece. We heard so much about the puzzle pieces by Dan Rashbaum on the opening statement. And then, of course, we've got Devil Donna. Also, folks, those are cool emojis that you can now use here in the church. Whoa, Shelly's in the chat. What's up, Shelly? Good morning, good morning. Jersey Jen, yes, I love that. Kai's in the house. Also, Prison Charlie, another new emoji specific to this trial. Love to see it. Thank you, Kai, for coming through here as well. Dave gently walks into church, dips hand in holy water, turns genuflex accidentally farts, and takes his seat in his pew. Michelle Salter, good morning from Washington. Good to see you. I've been MIA due to busy work schedule. Appreciate the rerun of Charlie's trial to be refreshing since Donna's trial has started. Yeah, that was my plan, is to kind of do them side by side to play off of Donna, to bring in some new folks, see if they can find us through Charlie's trial. Again, we do classic trials here on Murder Church, and I don't have time to actually do a live trial like Donna's in real time. So I think it'll be cool to go through this one right here. So yeah, welcome in here. Missed you, Michelle. I'm glad you could come in this morning. Got just a crazy Jen in the house, G style around here. BGOG in the house. That OG, he already knows what's up. Been around these parts a few times. Carrie's in the house. Good to see everybody this morning. Good to see everybody. Thank y'all for coming through. Ola popping in too this morning, I see. Nice, nice, nice. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and the book emoji. That's right, I've got a book emoji as well for the book club on Tuesday nights immediately following Murder Church. We do the book club, and we're getting ready to go into chapters, I believe, 34 and 35 of The Stranger Beside Me. We're getting closer to finishing that thing, so we'll be starting a new book shortly. So get in there for a new season / new book in a book club if you're a member here. And I will be keeping an eye on the wheel as well. Everybody's been so generous on the wheel the last few weeks. I've been giving away a lot of cool stuff. We've still got the magnets, the stickers, and the coaster. And a new wheel has already started. So I will be keeping an eye on that. So we'll see if we can get a spin here this morning. Tina popping in. Brooklyn popping in. Still got them beautiful ladies popping in. That's what I like to see. Hell yes. Pokemon, missed you all. I'm still in Golden at my son's working on home improvement projects for the baby. That's awesome. That's awesome, Shelly. I know you've been busy. Been rocking and rolling out there. And we'll count this as the bells. BGOG showing off the bells real quick. That's what I'm talking about. And Tina going to come through saying, a member for 19 months. Love the Publicly Buzzed fam. Yes, we, in my opinion, have the best community, the finest folks right here, the most generous folks here in the Buzz Nation. And thank you, Tina. 19 months is quite a long commitment to come in here and be so awesome with us. I really appreciate that. Dandy Lioness coming through here. Good morning, Dandy. Welcome in here. Love to see it. New name in the chat also, if I'm not mistaken. If anybody could do any shares on the socials, I'd appreciate that. I see Lexi the Law Nerd has already given me a little bit of love this morning. Thank you so much, Lexi. Giving it a share out herself. Thank you, thank you. I'll keep an eye on those folks to give them shout outs live here per the usual also. But yeah, we're going to be starting out with what we saw on, if anybody is watching Donna's Trial live, what we saw on Friday was James Geiger, the person that called 911 for Dan Markell and the neighbor of Dan. So we're going to be seeing him starting out this morning right here. And we're about to go into that right now. So thanks everyone for coming in again. Let's rock and roll. Let's do the damn thing. Don't forget about them new emojis now. I'm proud of those. I'm proud of those. Devil Donna. Prison Charlie. I need to get a joke on Wendy in there as well. Also, I saw some other... the puzzle pieces, actually, I told anybody, if anybody has any ideas for a possible future emoji, let me know. And that puzzle piece was somebody left a comment on something. And I was like, man, that's perfect. I should have got their name. And I could shout them out. So if that was you, shout it out in the chat here. So, and I apologize for forgetting. So yes, welcome in new folks. That's what I'm talking about. Well, let me set this up here for you guys real quick, and we will do the damn thing. Also, I like to shout them out and call them out. Show it there on the screen. Hold on. Watching, well, if you do that, it takes it away. But watching this on the Trial channel. And I will go ahead and post that in the comments as well. And that's where the playlist is that I'm watching this from. So, awesome channel, and it's really cool. And they've also allowed me to do this. They were really cool. They do a lot of different trials and have a lot of different playlists up on their site. So, Simi, welcome in. Get in here, Simi. Get a pew. Get a pew going. All right, let's go. Let's get in here this morning.
Mr. Geiger, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? You may take your seat. Please speak loudly and clearly. You can adjust the microphone if you need to.
Good morning, Mr. Geiger.
Good morning.
Please spell your name for the court reporter.
First name James, James, middle initial W, last name Geiger, Geiger.
Mr. Geiger, do you live here in Tallahassee?
Yes, I do.
Where do you live?
I live on Trescott Drive in Tallahassee.
How long have you been living on Trescott Drive?
I think it's about 45 years now.
Judge, without objection, I'll move into evidence states 1.
States 1 is admitted.
Permission to publish by way of the laptop.
You may.
Yo, Susan, morning. Hope you're having a great weekend.
Okay. Did you used to have a neighbor by the name of Dan Markell?
Yes.
When was that?
Well, restate the question.
When did Mr. Markell live next door to you?
Oh, well, it was, he died 9 years ago, and he had been there about 5 years before that.
All right. And where in relation to your home did Mr. Markell live?
He was my next door neighbor.
All right. So if we're looking at this photograph right here, which one is your home?
The one on the right is my home. The one on the left was Danny's.
All right. So that driveway there with the vehicle in the driveway, would that have been Mr. Markell's driveway?
Yes, it would.
Okay. Can you tell us about something that occurred back on July 18th of 2014?
On that morning.
That would be a good one too, actually. Stapler with cash emoji. That would be a good one too, Simi.
My wife and I were sitting in our living room.
I know the bells. I need to find some bells that I could just play a video of, get the bells going. I hate that my Stream Deck broke. I don't even know what the hell's going on. It's not that old. This thing's like kind of expensive.
It's out over Trescott Drive here, and we were working with an iPad on a couch, and we heard a noise, a loud bang. We weren't sure what it was, and I quickly got up to see what might have caused that noise. And there had been at the time some burglaries in the area, and I was concerned that perhaps that had been a burglary attempt. And so as I approached, we have a large window looking out on the street, and as I got to the window, I looked to the left and to the right because I wasn't sure where the noise came from.
That's pretty cool.
But
actually.
on my right, as I looked out, I saw a car quickly back up out of the driveway and then head towards Benton Road very rapidly.
Let me interrupt you for just a moment. Judge, if there's no objection, I'd like to introduce states 2 and 3 at this time.
No objection, Your Honor.
States 2 and 3 are admitted at this time.
May I publish 2, please? Okay, so is this the view you had from your window looking out toward Mr. Markel's drive?
Yes, that's correct.
And you say you saw a vehicle backing up out of his driveway?
Yes.
What type of vehicle was it?
Well, I caught it out of the corner of my eye, so it was not, I didn't look at it real hard, but it looked like a Prius to me. Looked like a silver or white colored Prius.
Anything about the way it backed out? Did it do that normally or
So
something?
it just went very quickly, and that's what caught my attention.
All right. And which way did it go after it backed out of the drive there?
As it backed out of the driveway, it headed to the right, which was towards Benton Road.
All right. Were you able to see the occupants of the vehicle?
No, I couldn't see any inside.
Did you do anything to further investigate the situation? Could we publish 3, please?
Another share on the old X machine. Willow's Trials and True Crime Discussions came through with a share. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Well, as I said, I was concerned that we had heard that there had been some burglaries in the area, and so I thought that I would walk next door to see if that might have been what happened. And as I approached Danny's house, I noticed that the garage door was up, and his car was in the garage, and it was running. And so I stopped then almost as I got to the garage, and I thought, well, so much for a burglary. If he's getting ready to leave, it wasn't anything like that, and so there must not be a problem. And I turned around and went back to my house at that point.
All right. What about once you got back inside the house? Did you do anything else?
Yeah, I as I got back in, I kind of stood right at this window, and why, I'm not sure, but I just thought I would stand there for a minute or two and wait for him to go ahead and back out and leave. After
Bassett Page, thank you so much for that share, Bassett. Appreciate that.
maybe 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, he hadn't backed out yet. And I said to my wife, I said, something seems wrong to me. I don't know what it is. Danny hadn't left yet. I think I'm going to walk back over there and check things out. And so that's what I did, was to walk back over again.
And what happened when you got over there?
Well, as I got back over, the garage door was still up. The car was still in the garage. It was still running. And I thought perhaps then that maybe he was on a phone and was simply
Hey,
staying
Cindy,
there
thank you
while he
very
was
much. I appreciate
had his
that.
phone conversation.
Jen, thank you very much. Yeah. Dude, those shares help tremendously, guys. You never know who might see it. Come on in. Check us out.
But again,
Cool.
I just
Thank you
wasn't
very
quite
much.
sure.
There we
And
go,
I
in a
said to
Discord.
myself, well, I'm going
Appreciate
to
that,
walk on
guys.
into the garage and make sure everything's okay. And
Mr.
that's
Geiger.
what I did.
In the 5 years or so that you lived next door
Charlie.
to Mr. Markel, had
Prison
you never
Charlie's
had an
in the
occasion to go over there
chat.
and check on him before?
No,
So he probably sat in his driveway talking on the phone before, right?
he may have. I don't know. He was in the garage this time. I wouldn't have known if he was there or not.
All right, but for whatever reason, the hairs on the back of your neck stood up this time.
I don't know that
Yeah,
they
this guy's
stood
awesome.
up, but there was just something
He just
that
felt
said
something
I need
was
to check it out.
All right, so what happened when you got over there?
Well, I as I said, I decided I'd walk on into the garage. I felt a little awkward doing that, but I walked on in, and I looked at
I did. I put Geiger. It's Geiger. Hold on. I need to
the
put that.
driver's side window, and it was busted out. And at that point, I recalled stepping on glass, and as I looked in, then I could see a man's head. It was bloody, and it was looking through. Part of the glass was still there from the driver's side window, but part of it was blown out. And I looked inside, and I saw a head. It was bloody, and it was moving back and forth slowly.
Salty got her gummies in her hand. That's what I'm talking about, Salty. Welcome in here this
Yeah,
morning.
and I said, Danny, what happened? And there was no response, just that slow moving back and forth. And I hollered out again, Danny, what happened? And there was still nothing. And at that point, I knew he needed help, and I had to call 911. And so I reached into my pocket, which is where I
Shelley, thank
normally
you for that
keep
share.
my
Just saw that on X also. Thank you.
cell phone, and it wasn't there. And then I recalled that
Best
while I was
folks.
sitting on the
So
couch,
friendly.
I'd taken
Love
it
you
out
guys.
and set it down there. So I quickly ran back to the house. It's not very far away, as you can see, and got my phone and then called 911.
Did you know anything about Dan Markell? Did he have a family living there with him?
Yeah, he and his wife had just been married when they moved into that home, and they were there. And then a couple of years later, they had a child, and then another child, and they had some difficulties, and they divorced. Or I guess we're in the process of being divorced, and she had moved out, and so Dan stayed there. Frankly, we didn't see him a whole lot.
All right, but he was living there and had the boys sometimes.
Yes,
All right, at the time that this happened.
correct.
Okay, were the children there with him when he was injured in this way?
Not that I'm aware of.
So you didn't see the children there?
No.
All right. So you go back and get your phone and call 911. Is that
Correct.
right? Okay. Have you had an opportunity to review the 911 call in this case previously?
I have.
All right, and is that your voice on the call that we played previously?
Yes, it is.
All right, Judge, at this time, I'm asked to introduce State's Exhibit 82, and ask for permission to publish.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Case 82 is admitted. You may publish.
Oh, that's awesome. Hell yeah. Yeah, I like that. Like, Kat Knott Williams is awesome, too. She's actually legit. She does really well covering the cases. I love that.
911, what's the your emergency?
It's right next door to my house, which is 2122 Trescott Drive.
Can you repeat that for verification?
2122 Trescott Drive, the T.
Okay, the phone number you're calling from?
I'm calling from 850-212-4623.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
We heard a loud bang and a car pulled away from next door. I came over and looked in, the garage door was up, and I thought the gentleman was backing out. And I went back to my house, but he never backed out. And I came back over, and his driver's side window was shattered, and he was battered and can't answer. He's inside. I don't know if somebody tried to shoot him or if he shot himself or what. I don't know.
Go wild side.
And it was at this location, correct?
Right next door. I gave you mine. I don't know his address. It's next door. You can send an ambulance in a hurry. He's still alive. He's moving.
Okay. What's going on with him?
I don't know. The driver's side window is all bashed in. He's inside. The car is running, and he's got blood all over his head. He's not responding to me. That number, by the way, is 2116 2116.
It's up one sunny day. Welcome in.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Jim Geiger, Geiger.
Mr. Geiger, you said that the man
Oh, Hines. Catch up man with the share. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
you saw in the vehicle was unresponsive to you. If there's no objection, I would like to introduce State's Exhibit 5 at this time.
No objection.
Case 5 is admitted.
May I publish?
You may.
Is this Mr. Markel, your neighbor?
Yes,
Okay, and when you say he was not responsive, was he able to say any words to you?
I didn't hear any words at all.
Okay, what sounds did you hear coming from
I
him?
didn't hear any sound. I just saw his head slowly rolling back and forth.
Okay, he wasn't moaning at all, or?
Not that I heard.
Okay. All right, may I introduce States Exhibit 6 and 7 at this time, Your Honor?
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
States 6 and 7 are admitted.
Publish 6, please. All right, so
It's interesting to watch Charlie because he doesn't truly know how to act from hearing these things. Like he's trying to show some kind of like emotion in the form of compassion, but it doesn't actually show like that. Like he's looks more annoyed than anything.
this
in my
looking
opinion.
up Mr. Markel's driveway.
Yes,
All right, and State 7, please. Is this how with the exception of the doors being open in this photo, is this how Mr. Markel's vehicle appeared to you when you approached on that day?
yes.
I'm going to approach with States Exhibit 4. Mr. Geiger, have you had an opportunity to see that image before?
Yes.
Is that your signature there on the image? Initials, I should say.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and is that indicating that the vehicle pictured in this exhibit is consistent with the vehicle you observed in Mr. Markel's driveway that day?
Yes, that's true.
Permission to introduce and publish States 4, please.
Any objection?
No objection.
States 4 is admitted.
And I believe you said on the reporting there that the car was running. Is that true?
That's true.
Did you touch the victim or the car?
No, I didn't.
Did you move anything inside the garage?
No.
Can you estimate how much time passed between the time you heard the loud bang and the time that you called 911?
I would say between 5 and 10 minutes.
I'm going to show you States Exhibit 81. Is States Exhibit 81 a fair and accurate map? It's an aerial map of your residence and the scene where this occurred.
Yes.
Judge, I'd ask to move into evidence States 81.
Any objection?
No objection.
Okay, States 81 is admitted.
May I publish?
Okay.
All right, so if you're coming in off of, can you show, off Thomasville Road there, the yellow line, how would you get to Mr. Markel's residence from Thomasville Road?
Well, you could do it more than one way. One is to go on the yellow road there, which is Thomasville Road, down to pretty close where that green mark is, which is Benton Road. You would take a left, come up to Trescott Drive, and then go back.
Just dropped a poll in the chat also. Is Wendy going down next? I put, of course, not sure. And she is fucked.
That would be one way to do it.
Yes, sir.
Another way would be to exit off of Thomasville Road on Klein and then come across to Trescott Drive. And in that case, you'd be turning right.
And on that one, we've got to go up a little bit, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe Armistead to Klein
Yeah.
to Trescott. Okay. Thank you, sir. No further questions.
Cross-examination.
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Geiger, you may step down, sir.
Thank you.
May Mr. Geiger be released, Your Honor?
He is. Does the defense intend to call Mr. Geiger at any point?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Geiger, you are released. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Please call your next witness.
Going into the next one. Hold on here real quick. Which is going to be retired Sergeant David Sims. I need to get this up on the screen. Rolling right along. Thanks everyone for being here this morning. Appreciate it.
Sergeant, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
I do.
You may take your seat.
Oh, David Sims, retired sergeant.
Hello. Please introduce yourself and spell your name.
David Sims, Davidsims.
How are you employed, sir?
I'm retired sergeant for the Tallahassee Police Department.
How long were you with TPD?
28 years.
Shit.
Were you working there back in 2018?
Yes, I was.
Did you
You
respond?
said 2018?
I'm sorry, sir. 2014.
2014, yes.
I'm sorry. Did you respond to 2116 Trescott Drive back in on July 18th of 2014?
I did.
All right. And what were you responding in reference to?
Yo, Seeking Justice. Thank you for that share. All the beautiful people with the shares. Thank you this morning, guys. Really helps us out here.
A call of possible shots fired.
Okay. What did you observe when you arrived there?
When I arrived, I parked on the street, and the neighbor, Mr. Geiger, pointed out the house. I walked up the driveway. The garage door was up. There was a vehicle parked in the driveway running. As I approached the vehicle, I noticed glass on the ground outside the driver's side, and I checked the door locks, and the car was locked, but it was running. There was a person inside the car, kind of slumped over, maybe a little to the right. The glass for the driver's window.
Let me pause you right there. May we publish 7, please?
Any objection? Oh, this is already.
This one's amazing.
I'm gonna sneeze.
All right, so proceed with your answer. So you arrive, and is this what you see?
Yes.
Except for the doors were shut, correct?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And as I approached in the picture there, the vehicle door is open, but it was closed and locked when I arrived, and the glass in the driver's door was partially broken out, and there appeared to be a small half circle in that glass as if a projectile had entered or exited through that window.
So at this time, I'd like to move into evidence, State's Exhibit 8.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
States 8 is admitted.
Please publish 8. All right, does this photograph show the little shattered glass with the half circle you were referencing?
Up there in the corner.
Okay. What else did you observe there?
Inside the vehicle, I called the victim's possible name. I was given the name of Daniel. I called Daniel. There was no response. He was breathing, but in a gasping manner. It was just kind of repetitive gasp. No movement, no response to me. I went around to the other side of the vehicle after I had unlocked. I reached in the window, unlocked the door, went around to the other side, opened that door, turned the car off so the car wouldn't possibly be put into gear when EMS got there, plus the fumes. So I dropped the keys on the floor in the garage. And
Interesting. Out of 18 votes for the poll that I put up here, is Wendy going down next? Right now, of course, 22% winning and not sure at 44. And she is fucked at 33. So a pretty even split here, at least by the 18 folks that decided to vote here. Interesting.
And I tried to call the thing again, no response. By that time, I heard EMS, their sirens right down the street, so they were almost there. I did notice that in his left hand he had a cell phone, and in his right hand he had like a business card. And he also, there was eyeglasses. Half was laying in his lap, and the other half was laying on the floor of the car, like they had just been broken right across the bridge.
All right, this time I'd ask to introduce into evidence States 9 and 10.
Any objection?
No objection.
States 9 and 10 is admitted.
Publish 9, please. All right, so this, could you zoom in a little bit on the door of the garage next to the driver's side. All right, so what is this that we're seeing on the ground here?
That looks like possibly the cell phone, and I don't know if that's the glasses or not. Because once this picture would be after EMS
blood?
arrived and they took him out of the vehicle, and I'm not sure what on that side, what was moved and everything that was done when EMS was trying to extricate him from the car.
Okay, before the doors were open and EMS extricated the victim, were you able to observe some shattered glass?
Oh, there was definitely
around
glass,
there?
definitely glass on that.
Definitely during this trial, looks like Charlie doesn't sleep, right? Like he's, I'm sure, not sleeping, honestly, just probably worrying himself to death every night, which he should be. But yeah, I doubt he's sleeping. very
Outside,
much.
yes.
Next photo.
Yeah, make sure you're in the Seeking Justice Discord. If you are just randomly in here and you want a really cool Discord to jump into, that is a good one. They keep track of basically every trial happening in real time, keep track of an amazing amount of creators, and show the love. Really, really great folks.
Publishing 10. This was another shot of that shattered glass there, and can you tell whether those are the glasses that you observed?
It
Yes.
is blood,
Okay, and the
right?
cell phone there on the ground.
Correct.
Where was that cell phone when you initially observed it?
It was in his left hand.
So it was moved whenever they removed the victim.
Correct.
To try to render aid.
Correct.
And was he
Got him when
taken
he's
to the
on his
hospital?
phone?
Yes.
In the garage there.
When you say that you opened the car doors, did you have to touch both door handles to do that?
Usually when I have a car that's something like this, a stolen car or anything that I don't want to get prints on, in my uniform I always have a pen, like just a big pen with the top that comes off, and I use that to pull in the door handles, and I use that to reach in and unlock the vehicle so I don't touch anything.
Did you observe any signs there at the scene that there had been forced entry of the residence or anything disturbed or taken?
No, after the victim was removed from the car, then myself and another officer, we took the keys that I had taken out. We had to unlock the door to get into the house from the garage, and we checked the house. The other doors were locked, and there was no signs of anything in the house, no persons, and no struggle or anything inside the house.
Okay, and the children were not present at the
Children
scene?
were not present.
Okay. Did you move the car at all?
No.
All right, so the way it's photographed here is the position it was in when you found it?
Right, after we were done checking the house, and the scene was turned over to our investigators and to forensics.
Okay. No further questions.
No questions, Joanne.
No cross here.
Sergeant Ruiz,
Yes, sir.
you may sit down. Have a good day, sir. Please call your next witness.
State calls Joanne Maltese.
Not to cross anyone. Joanne Maltese coming up right now. Moving quick, just like actually in real time the Donna Adelson trial, currently moving pretty fast. Let me get this name up here. Again, thanks everyone for hanging out this morning. So we have a forensic specialist, pretty much moving exactly like Donna's trial.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? Yes. You may take your seat.
Get her name up here on the screen.
And please introduce yourself and spell your name.
Joanne Maltese, Joanne, and Maltese, Maltese.
How are you employed, ma'am?
Retired Tallahassee Police Forensics Specialist. I
I
now
feel like
have
everyone retired after this case. Everyone's like, I'm done.
some businesses in Thomasville, Georgia.
How long were you with TPD?
It's TPD for 26 years.
And were you with them back in 2014?
Yes, I was.
What were your duties back in 2014?
In 2014, I was a forensic specialist, and my primary duties were the documentation, collection, and preservation of evidence at a crime scene.
And what training and education did you receive to do that type of duty?
At the time, I had over 1,500 hours of specific crime scene training to include photography, collection, DNA, fingerprints, as well as I taught at Pat Thomas Law Enforcement Academy in crime scene, as well as teaching at the police department.
Did you respond
Yeah, I
to
bet they've studied it well. I would imagine, Michelle.
2116 Trescott Drive on July 18th, 2014.
Yes, I did.
And is that the scene that's shown in the photograph, states 10, that's up on the screen right now?
Yes, it is inside the garage.
All right, and is that residence here in Leon County?
Yes, it is.
Yo, Brooklyn, welcome in. Good
Asked
morning.
to introduce at this time, Your Honor, states 11 through 17.
No objection, Your Honor.
Case 11 through 17 are admitted at this time.
All right, so did you photograph this vehicle as part of your duties?
Yes, I did.
All right, so may I publish states 11?
You may.
All right, just if you'll just kind of walk us through these photos and what we're looking at in
This-
states 11.
This photo is the rear passenger area showing children's shoes and car seats.
All right, were the kids present when you were working the crime scene?
No, they were not.
States Exhibit 12, please. What is this a photograph of?
It's a piece of broken eyeglass that was on the floor of the garage.
And how was the eyeglass broken, if you know?
The opticals or the lenses were located still inside of the vehicle.
Oh, shit, real quick. Dave, membering up. Dave, I'm a G around these parts either way but yeah, getting in the book club. Show a little love here to Dave in the chat. Anytime we get a new member in here with the Buzz Nation, I like to throw out the beers, the hell yeah, the murder churches. Got a little Meowder church in there. I'm also going to throw a Devil Donna and a puzzle piece in just for good measure. Welcome the hell in here, Dave. Appreciate it. That also gets you on the wheel, sir. And a possibility to win some goodies here at Publicly Buzzed. We here at Publicly Buzzed do not just... Anytime we get any kind of donation, whether it's through a membership, whether it's through a Cash App, whether it's through YouTube's system with giving out fundage, I'm having a brain fart right now that I can't remember the name of. That's how you get on the wheel. Super chats. Dave, welcome in here, brother. Appreciate it. Boom. Hell yeah. In the book club for Tuesday, sir. And a possibility to win some cool shit.
Just half of the eyeglass was outside, and there is damage to the nose piece.
What's up,
of the
Josh?
eyeglass.
Low light in the
Potentially
house.
consistent with the bullet causing the damage to the glasses.
It would be consistent.
All right, States Exhibit 13, please. What is this?
This is the optical or the lens of a pair of glasses located on the floorboard of the vehicle in the driver's compartment.
States Exhibit 14. What is this?
It's going to be a wallet found in the glove box of the vehicle.
Was the glove box open or shut when you arrived on scene?
It was closed.
All right, States Exhibit 15. Did it appear that the box had been rifled through or that any items had been taken from the wallet?
No.
States Exhibit 16. What does this show?
Robbing him would have looked better than not robbing him.
To be the driver's side door window, the driver's door window, with a hole in the glass.
Consistent with a bullet hole?
Yes, it would be.
States Exhibit 17. What does this show?
This is another photograph from a different angle of the same hole in the window that would be consistent with a bullet hole.
And did you collect some physical items of evidence from the photographs that we've just looked at?
Yes, I did.
23 months, Pokey. That's a long ass time. That's incredible. It's a 1 month shy of 2 years, right there.
Start with States Exhibit 115. Do you recognize 115?
Yes.
What is 115?
It's going to be the eyeglass frame that was from the passenger floorboard, the front passenger floorboard in the vehicle.
And States Exhibit 116. What is that?
116 is going to be the other side of the eyeglass frame that was on the garage floor.
May I publish? I'm sorry, I'd like to introduce 116 and 117.
Any objection or
No objection.
Correction for the record, Your Honor, 115 and 116.
States 115 and 116 are admitted at this time.
Moving on to 117. Do you recognize 117?
Yes.
What is that?
It's going to be the lens or the optical located on the front driver's floorboard in the vehicle.
And about 118?
118 is going to be a piece of the other lens or eye optical from the glasses that were on the front driver's seat.
Are those in the same or substantially the same condition as when you impounded them?
Yes.
Judge, I'd move into evidence 117 and 118.
Any objection?
No objection.
States 117 and 118 are admitted at this time.
And then 119, if you could tell us what that is, please.
119 is going to be the wallet and its contents, other than the cash that I had to take out. It was located in the glove box.
And that item in the same or substantially the same condition as well?
Yes.
And move into evidence states 119, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
119 is admitted.
No publish.
You may.
And whose driver's license was in the wallet states exhibit 119?
Daniel Markel.
Showing you states exhibit 120. Do you recognize this item?
Yes, I do.
What is this item?
It's going to be the actual glass from the driver's door.
And how were you able to remove the glass and package it in this way?
Due to the glass being broken, I used clear tape and lined the entire inside and outside of the glass prior to taking it out so it would stay together.
Is it in the same condition as when you impounded it that day?
Yes.
Judge moving in evidence states 120.
Any objection?
No objection.
States 120 is admitted.
May publish.
You may.
So which way does it go? The photo's up there if that helps. Oh, he's not.
All right, this is going to be the inside that you're looking at, and
Oh yeah, Dave. Yeah, we got a lot of really cool shirts at publiclybuzz.com,
yes,
guys.
in that reference.
Anybody that does not know that, we'll give a shirt away here. Maybe the next will. After the current will of stickers, magnets, and other goodies, we'll maybe do a shirt giveaway. It's been a minute since I need to. I need to start getting some stuff shipped out too. I've gotten a little bit backed up here. Where the will's just been rolling. I've built up a nice little bunch of merch to send out.
Next, I'm showing you states exhibit 121. Do you know what this item is?
Yo, Teresa, good
What
morning.
is that item?
This item is a fragment of glass that was taken off of Mr. Markel's face at the hospital.
Did you respond to the hospital?
Yes, I did.
What were your duties at the hospital?
I arrived at the hospital to document the condition, collect clothing, swabs, and any evidence
Really cool merch.
from Mr. Markel.
Best merch in true
All
crime,
right,
I
as
think.
part of that, did you photograph Mr. Markel in the hospital?
Yes, I did.
All right, moving to evidence states
A little biased,
22, 23, and 24, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
States 22, 23, and 24 are admitted.
Wait. One moment, please, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor, at this time I'd ask to publish states 22.
You may.
Can you rotate it, please, so that he's away. This was the condition Mr. Markel was in at the hospital.
Yes.
How long after you arrived at the scene, the crime scene, were these photos taken at the hospital, if you know?
The crime scene I arrived at around 11:30 in the morning, and then these photos would have been taken around 12:30, so an hour later.
And Mr. Markel was still
That's awesome.
alive.
I'm going to read that one out. Steve, my mama wore her Me Outer Church shirt to her doctor's appointment. My sister said she got a lot of looks And she just snickered about it. That's awesome. That's really, I've been hearing and so many people rocking my merch and dude, that's so cool. That's insane to me. I appreciate that. That rules. I'm glad your mama got that too.
At that time.
Yes.
Please publish.
That's freaking
space
sweet, dude.
23. Why did you take this photo?
This photo, I'm documenting a dark area on his forearm, which is consistent with stippling.
And are you referring to this area here in the photo?
Yes.
And what is stippling?
Stippling is when you're in close contact or close area of a gunshot blast or a gun going off, and the gunpowder that is exiting from the gun comes out at a high speed and it will stain or tattoo your skin.
All right, so the indication is potentially a close proximity of the muzzle of the firearm at the time of firing.
Yes.
All right.
Tiny mouth over here. Tiny mouth Adelson. That's what they used to call him in high school.
A close-up of
That's old Tiny
the
Mouth.
one you described.
Yes.
All right. And once Mr. Markel was pronounced deceased, did you go to the autopsy?
No, I did not.
I have a couple other photos to show you in reference to your work on this case. This is 18 through 21. Do you recognize these photos?
Yes, I do.
And what are these photos of?
These photos were taken at the Tallahassee Police
Am I
Department.
crazy? Look how tiny this man's mouth is. Jesus Christ. Got that thing. It's not even puckering. It's just straight a little boy mouth.
I was requested
Little bitch boy
to document a vehicle there.
All right, what type of vehicle was that?
It was a 2007 Honda Odyssey van.
All right, and was that Wendy Adelson's vehicle?
Yes, it was.
That's
All right,
awesome. That's a cool
move to
shirt.
Introduce 18 through 21.
Those stickers
here.
ran out immediately.
No objection.
It's 18 to 21 or a minute.
May I publish?
You may.
All right, publish 18, please. All right, this is just the exterior
Got to
of the
open it very
vehicle.
wide to get all
Yes.
those words out.
Okay, 19, please. All right, next photo, 20. Was this a receipt from a purchase that was made the day of the homicide?
Yes.
Okay, you just photographed that there inside the vehicle.
Yes, I did. Front passenger seat.
All right, next photo, 21. Is that a close-up of the receipt?
Yes, it is.
And where was the purchase made?
The purchase was made at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits,
And what date and
Welcome in
time
there,
was the
Steve.
purchase made?
Double
7/18
Steve
of
action.
2014
You know, they say two Steves don't make a right. That's what they say. Welcome in here, bud.
at 12:49 p.m.
Okay. No further questions.
This is the dentist that set up that masterminded a murder with his family.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
When you
Got a
arrived
little cross from Rash Bomb. Let's see what he brings here.
on the scene, it was taped off, correct?
Yes, it was.
And the tape was approximately 5 or 6 properties to either side?
Correct.
So either side of the residence, right?
Yes.
Now, going back to Exhibit 20. Can you put Exhibit 20 on the screen? Show me what button. This is a picture that you took.
Yes.
And it's a picture of Bullet whiskey. Is that right?
Bullet Rye whiskey. Yes.
Is there a reason why you took this picture?
Those are two amazing shirts also, Low Light. The Skeleton Crew one might be my favorite. But that Dandy Savage shirt freaking rules also.
I was requested to take a photo of it.
Who requested you to take it?
Investigators that were there with me. And I would have also photographed everything in the vehicle.
And this came out of Wendy Adelson's car?
Yes.
Are you aware that Wendy Adelson was invited to a party where she was asked to bring bullet whiskey?
No, I was not.
You didn't try to do investigation into that?
I do crime scene. I'm not an investigator.
Now, going to Exhibit 21. Can you put me around?
Sorry.
This is so far away. This thing. Okay. Going to 21, can you tell when the purchase occurred at ABC?
When it occurred?
Yeah, what time?
According to the receipt, it's 12:49 and 13 seconds.
Okay, and you see that right under the words regular sale?
Yes.
I have no further questions, Ron.
Well,
No, Your Honor.
Is the witness released?
Charlie's like, what the fuck have I done?
Have a good day.
Jesus Christ. All right, we're going to keep on moving here. Moving fairly quickly so far. We're going into, let's see, Dr. Anthony Clark, medical examiner. Moving quick here. Unusual after watching Phil Spector, I will say that.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? You may take your seat.
Judge, before I get started with this witness, the clerk advised me that State's Exhibit 121, a glass removed from Mr. Markel's face, was identified but not admitted, so I'll move 121 into evidence at this time.
Any objection?
No objection.
States 121 is admitted.
And I'd also like to ask Your Honor to read the stipulation regarding the swabs that Ms. Maltese collected from the crime scene.
Members of the jury, when parties agree that certain facts are true, that is called a stipulation of fact.
You must accept stipulated facts as having been proven. However, the significance of these facts, as with all facts, is for you to decide. In this case, the stipulated facts that you must accept as true are the following. Miss Carrie Rosanna, a crime laboratory analyst in the biology section at the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, conducted DNA testing in this case and reported the following results. The swabs collected from the crime scene by Joanne Maltese were tested for the presence of DNA. Ms. Rosanna analyzed the swabs and opined that due to the limited nature of the DNA results obtained from the swabs, the data was not interpretable, meaning there was not enough information present to make an identification.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I proceed?
You may.
Sir, please introduce yourself and spell your name.
Dr. Anthony J. Clark, Anthony J. Clark, Clark.
How are you employed?
I'm currently employed as Associate Medical Examiner with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Division of Forensic Science, in the Central Medical Examiner's Office in Macon, Georgia.
What about back in 2014?
I was employed as an Associate Medical Examiner with District 2 Medical Examiner's Office here in Tallahassee, and an employee of KWB Pathology Associates.
How long were you employed here as a medical examiner?
About 16 years.
All right. Could you briefly go through your education and training that qualifies you to do your job?
I obtained my Bachelor of Science degree from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I then did 2 years of animal research at MIT, then was accepted to the Jefferson Medical College in Philadelphia. I graduated from the college and went to New Britain General Hospital in New Britain, Connecticut, and did a 2-year general surgical residency internship. I then went to the Hartford Hospital in Hartford, Connecticut, and did 4 years of anatomic and clinical pathology. I graduated from that program and traveled down to Atlanta, Georgia, where I did a 2-year forensic pathology fellowship at the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office in Atlanta, Georgia, in association with Emory University. I finally got my first job as the
Doppelganger
Southwest
out here?
Regional Medical Examiner for the GBI DLFS in Moultrie, Georgia. And then I traveled to Tallahassee, where I was District 2, and then back to Georgia now. I am board certified in anatomic and forensic pathology. I have medical licensures both in Georgia and in Florida.
All right, and what are the duties of an assistant medical examiner?
As an associate medical examiner, I am involved in death investigation. I'm the individual that examines the dead person and determines the cause and manner of death.
How many autopsies have you conducted throughout your career?
It's well over 7,500.
Damn.
Have you testified as an expert in a court of law before today?
Yes, ma'am.
How many times?
Several hundred times.
Tender the expert judge in the area of forensic pathology.
Yeah, this is moving a lot like Donna's.
Switch to.
Or Donna's is moving a lot like Charlie's, I should say.
Any challenge to the qualifications to render an opinion? Members of the jury, the witness will be permitted to provide you with an opinion in the field of forensic pathology. You may continue.
Dr. Clark, did you conduct the autopsy of Dan Markell?
Yes, I did.
When was that autopsy conducted?
We performed the autopsy on July 19, 2014, and we started at 11:55 hours.
Where was the autopsy conducted?
This was performed at the Tallahassee morgue at that time.
All right. And did you take photographs to assist you in documenting the autopsy process?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to show you what I've marked as States Exhibits 25 through 34.
I just got to say for a second, Phil Spector was an experience. The Phil Spector season 5 trial was, I don't regret it. It was interesting. It was fiery. It was spicy. I've never seen anything like that in a courtroom before. Some of the stuff that was going on. But man, it drained us also. It was so long. So much bullshit going on. There's the defense drug that out for an insane amount of time. A real life 6-month trial with so many hiccups. It feels good to watch a trial that moves smoothly right now. Like I must say, I'm really enjoying this.
Ask if you recognize those exhibits.
It was epic. I don't regret it. When I say that, I almost feel like, I'm shitting on it, but I'm not. I'm not shitting on it, but good God, after a while, it does start to, it took 16 months to get through. I guess, honestly, like for a channel that, can only stream so many hours, Sunday being our longest, stream days, it's difficult. It was tough. This is how a trial should be.
States Exhibits 26. This one. 25 and 26 are photographs of the X-rays we took prior to performing the autopsy, and the rest of these are the photos from the autopsy itself.
Are they fair and accurate photos of the autopsy?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Would they assist the jury in understanding your testimony today?
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Rothman, the evidence states 25 through 34.
25 to 34 are admitted over defensive objection.
Permission to publish?
You may.
All right, let's start with 25, please. All right, doctor, what are we looking at in States Exhibit 25?
This is an X-ray of the decedent's head, and what we want to see here is that these really dense white areas here and here, these are the bullets that I recovered from the head at the autopsy.
So like a piece of bullet ended up in his face here also? Like down low? I guess here is the actual shot? Shit.
Okay, so one in the center of the forehead there and one on the kind of the side of the face.
Center forehead and here on the left side of the face.
All right, and States Exhibit 26, please.
As part of the X-ray series, we like to look at what we call laterals, not just also to see where they are in the
You
skull.
see this one in the back of the head here. I guess that's where it ended up resting.
And you can see that even though it looks like it's in the center of the head, it's towards the back of the head here, and then this one is near the left side of the jaw here.
Oh.
27, please. How many times was Professor Markell shot?
Twice.
Both in the head?
That's correct.
Where were the entrance wounds?
Okay, this is actually the identification photograph to show who this decedent is, but you can see the trauma here. You have a gunshot wound right here, just inside this left eyebrow here, and then you have another gunshot wound here on the outside left cheek.
State's Exhibit 28, please. What does this photo show?
This is the gunshot wound number 1 I described in the autopsy report. This is the entry wound here, and you can see around it are all these irregular abrasions. These abrasions are from shattering glass, causing these that's exploded onto his face and causing these little bits of scraping all the way down here, on his ear, and on his neck here. Also, you can see the massive amount of swelling and soft tissue injury in this area. The bullet actually winds up just about where the pointer is right now, just below this earlobe on the, just above the corner of the left side of the jaw, lower jaw here. You can see that there's been some hemorrhage around the eyelid, the eye here, and then you see gunshot wound number 2 here, just inside the left eyebrow.
Does calling them gunshot wounds 1 and 2, does that correspond with your opinion as to the order of the shots?
No, ma'am. That just tells you the way for me easily to describe what they are. Actually, I think I did it backwards. This is 1 and this is 2. Sorry.
Okay. Do you have an opinion as to the order of the shots?
Yes, ma'am. I do now. After I found out about the scene investigation and what was going on, that this was most likely the first gunshot wound because of the glass causing injuries around the wound itself. And then the second one actually has some characteristics of what we call gunpowder stippling, where the muzzle of the gun, out of the muzzle of the gun comes burning and unburnt gunpowder particles, and they strike the skin, also causing scrapings. But those scrapings are more homogeneously the same size, so it looks more like a gunpowder injury.
All right, so the first in time, in your opinion, is the one to the cheek?
Yes,
The lower one?
this would be number 1 in time sequence, and then this would be the second one.
Okay. And can you tell the jury anything about the range, meaning how far away the muzzle of the firearm would have been from Mr. Markel when these shots were fired?
This one here on the cheek, I cannot tell because there's what's called an intermediate target, something in between that's blocking any of the gunpowder characteristics on the skin. On the top one here, to the just inside the left eyebrow, again, you're talking within inches.
Oh, it's a very close muzzle.
Yes.
All right. And when you're talking about the intermediate...
Yeah, just real quick, in Donna's trial, if anybody's watching that, which I'm sure everyone in here is, Donna was trying to do a little bit of waterworks on Friday, trying to, show the jury that she's compassionate about this, or super sad about what happened to Dan. And Judge Everett was like, "Listen, we're gonna have to control this. We're gonna have to control this shit right now. Get yourself in check, lady."
Immediate target in reference to the gunshot wound that happened first, would that be consistent with the bits of glass hitting his face
That's correct.
and causing those abrasions around the entrance?
Double
wound?
done.
That's correct.
Would the gunshot wound that was happened first in time have caused his death immediately?
More than likely not. It may have stunned him, or most likely stunned him because of the impact to the face. But most of the damage is to the face, and I don't think there was much damage to the brain at that point in time.
And what about the one that happened second in time?
Now, the second one actually went through the right side of the brain, and that would have rendered him unconscious almost immediately. But there was a survival time after that.
Meaning he didn't die right away.
That's correct. His heart and lungs kept working.
All right. Were the injuries survivable, meaning if he had gotten medical attention sooner, if something had been done differently, he could have survived?
Well, he got medical attention, but it did not help him. So, yes, they were a non-survivable injury to the right, with the gunshot wound to the head.
State's Exhibit 29, please. What does this exhibit show? I think we need to, can we turn it so that it's like this? Yep.
Yeah, hearing about him kind of writhing around in agony after these shots is hard to hear. I'm sure it's hard for his family, his
What
parents.
are we looking at in this image, Doctor?
Okay, again, what I was looking at was this coarse abrasions or scrapings of the skin on the ear, and there's some scattering on the neck here. Most of it's on the face up here. And again, that's what I called pseudo-stippling in the autopsy report. Also, you can see that the side of his neck is kind of discolored and it's very swollen here. There's been a lot of hemorrhage into the soft tissues from the gunshot wound that has traveled from here down to here.
All right, State's 30, please. What are we looking at in this image?
Now we're looking at gunshot wound labeled as number 1. This is the entry here. And you see these fine specks up here. Those are small abrasions or scrapings of the skin, consistent with gunpowder stippling. So there was no intermediate target at that point in time. So the gunpowder from the discharge from the muzzle of the gun struck the skin and left these marks.
Can you tell them anything about what type of firearm it would have been or could have been based on?
Not from the stipple pattern of the gunshot wound injuries themselves. The bullets were more consistent with being fired from a revolver.
And what's the difference between a revolver and other types of weapons?
Well, the revolver usually can use just lead slugs, and they're usually not copper jacketed or metal jacketed.
Okay. And is the revolver the one that has the cylinder like a cowboy gun that spins around?
Yes, ma'am.
Does not eject casings when it's fired?
That's correct.
Okay. Next photo, please. Doctor, what are we looking at in states 31?
Okay, this is depicting the gunshot wound to the outside of the left cheek here. You can see the coarse stippling going all the way to the nose, to around here, the injury around the left eye from hemorrhage from these 2 gunshot wounds. And then you see the other gunshot wound to the what we call glabella, or just inside the left eyebrow.
So what we're seeing is the discoloration.
Update on the poll. Got a lot more people that came through for the poll. So the 32 votes now. Is Wendy going down next was the question. 19% of course. 50% not sure, which is interesting. And then 31% she is fucked. Interesting.
What appears to be black eyes, is that secondary to the gunshot wounds or consistent with some other injury?
No, that's consistent with the gunshot wounds.
Next photo, please. This is 32. Return like this. What does states 32 show?
This is a close-up of his left forearm. His wrist is over here, his elbow is here. And what you're seeing here is a crescent-shaped deposit of soot. Okay? Now, soot, not only in a revolver, not only comes out of the muzzle, but it also comes out what's called a cylinder gap. If you think about a cowboy gun or a 38 special or something like that, that cylinder there's a little gap between that and the actual muzzle, so that you can have soot coming out, and even have other particles coming out. These are a little bit finer than I thought initially, but I called it pseudo-stippling. There are some irregularities here, but I think that this is probably soot deposition from the discharge from the cylinder gap, and that would imply that his arm was somewhere near that when that shot took place.
All right, so potentially consistent with him perceiving the threat and putting his arm up and to try to defend himself.
Correct.
States Exhibit 33, please. What is States 33?
States 33 is the bullet that we recovered from the left jaw area. If you can see it, remember what the x-ray looked like? It looked like a barrel, and that's what we have here.
And States 34?
And that is the deformed bullet that we pulled out of the back of the right side of the brain.
Damn.
I'm going to approach with states 122 and 123.
Yo, morning, Joe. What's up, brother?
Do you recognize these exhibits?
Yes. States 123 is the packaging that I used to put the bullet in. The bullet is currently out, and this is from the brain. And States Exhibit 122 is the packaging and the bullet that I pulled out for the gunshot wound to the left cheek area.
And are these in the same or substantially
behind the shoulder cam is nice. Damn.
Yes, ma'am.
Fancy.
Judge, I'd ask to introduce at this time states 122 and 123.
Any objection? No objection. 122 and 123 are admitted.
And published.
You may.
These are the same items that we just saw in those last 2 photographs.
Yes, ma'am.
You fuck, Charlie. Fizzucked.
Doctor, what was the cause of death in this case?
I put the cause of death as gunshot wound to the face and head.
And what about the manner of death?
This was considered a homicide.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Crosses out.
No questions, Your Honor.
Ah, don't reckon we're gonna cross.
Will he be recalled at any point?
No, sir.
Ashbaum hasn't done really
You may
much
call your next
anything.
witness.
Yeah.
Judge, do you have a stipulation at this time? I would ask Your Honor to read the stipulation in reference to the firearms.
Dugan and Chapelman, two badass blondes from Florida. All right? Don't fuck with these ladies. Quite the lookers, also. Let me say so myself.
When the parties agree that certain facts are true, that is called a stipulation of fact. You must accept stipulated facts as having been proven. However, the significance of these facts, as with all facts, is for you to decide. In this case, the stipulated fact that you must accept as true is the projectiles contained in States Exhibits 122 and 123 were examined microscopically by a firearms expert from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and are determined to have been fired from the same revolver.
We're going next. Rolling on through here. Next we got a little bit of time on this one. Over an hour here. Nice. Special Agent Patrick Sanford, FBI. Uh-oh.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes, I do.
You may take your seat.
Please say your name and spell your name.
Patrick Sanford, S-A-N-F-O-R-D.
How are you employed?
I'm a special agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
How long have you been with the FBI?
Approximately a little over 24 years, 22 of which I was here in Tallahassee.
What are your duties there?
I'm a special agent. I investigate cases and protect national security.
And were you assigned to investigate a murder case involving the murder of Dan Markell?
Yes, I was.
Were you the lead investigator on that case?
Correct.
Did you assist the Tallahassee Police Department in that case?
Yes, I did.
Why was the FBI included in that particular investigation?
At the beginning, they had several leads,
Dude, that's
like
what I was saying,
interviews, things that they need to track down that were outside of the city of Tallahassee.
I'll be right back. I'm
That,
the bathroom.
we
Gotta
have
be right back.
agents, all over the country, so we're able to facilitate some of those leads and track down certain aspects of the case.
And were some of those leads in the Miami area?
Yes, they were.
Were you assisted by Miami authorities as well in the investigation?
Correct.
As part of the investigation, were the people that were considered to be closest to the victim interviewed?
Yes, they were.
And would that include the ex-wife, Wendy Adelson?
Yes.
What did you learn in the investigation about the relationship between the victim and his ex-wife, Wendy Adelson?
They had gone to through a very contentious divorce, which even after the divorce was finalized, they still had several issues that they dealt with through the court system.
I'm going to approach with what I've marked as States Exhibit 56. Do you recognize this exhibit?
Yes, I do.
You had an opportunity to look at that exhibit before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, is that a fair and accurate copy of Wendy Adelson and Dan Markell's divorce file?
That's correct.
From the clerk's office here in Leon County?
Correct.
Judge, at this time, I'm asked to move into evidence States Exhibit 56.
And objection to States 56.
Just our previous objection, Your Honor.
Very well. States 56 is admitted at this time or with that objection.
Did you review this divorce file as part of your investigation in this case?
Yes, I did.
About how many pages are in that?
Around 576, I believe.
Okay. And I want to draw your attention to a couple things specifically, like on page 82, paragraph 13. They were arguing over everything, right? All the belongings.
Correct.
Down to a tennis racket.
That's correct.
Okay. Okay. As part of these proceedings, did Wendy Adelson seek to relocate with her children from Tallahassee to Miami, Florida?
Yes, she did.
And why did she want to relocate to South Florida, according to the filings?
The filing stated that she had a job offer in South Florida that was more lucrative than her current job.
All right. And did Mr. Markel object to her petition to relocate with the children?
He did.
All right. Did he file quite a lengthy and emphatic objection to that?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And in his motion, and that's going to be on page 82, why did he indicate he believed was the sole reason that Miss Adelson wanted to move to South Florida?
He says that he stated that the sole reason was because she could relocate with the party's minor children to be near her parents.
And was the relocation petition that Wendy filed, was that ruled on?
Yes, it was.
All right. So what did the court say about that?
The court ruled against that and ruled against her, saying she had to stay in Tallahassee with the children.
And if I said that was June 20th of 2013, does that sound right?
That's correct.
Okay. When was the divorce made final? And for that, I'll direct you to page 457 and 458.
I believe it was made final in July 31st.
Brought a banana out. I'm not sure if this banana is going to be good or not. It's seen some better days. It's on its final legs. We're going to see.
2013, I believe.
All right. And did that conclude the legal issues between Miss Adelson and Professor Markel?
No, it did not.
All right. So they continued to file quite a lot of filings after that. Is that right?
That's correct.
In fact, there's over 250 more pages of stuff after the divorce was final.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. I want to direct your attention to March 26th of 2014. Did Mr. Markel file a motion seeking some relief related to the grandmother, Donna Adelson?
Yes, he did.
And what specifically was he seeking in reference to Donna Adelson?
He was seeking to limit her visitation rights to where they had to be monitored. Supervised
By another adult.
That's correct.
And why in the pleading did Mr. Markel indicate that this supervision was needed?
I'm sorry, could you refresh the page number?
Look at 450. 450.
Mr. Markel stated that that the children informed him that.
Yeah, I didn't want to eat the banana for everybody here live. You're right, Dave.
Grandma says you're stupid, and
We're not
that
sucking
she
the
said
banana,
you're trying
Dave.
to take your sunshines away.
But Grandma, meaning Donna Adelson,
That's correct.
was saying that telling the kids that Dan Markel was stupid.
That's correct.
Bugaboo, welcome in here.
Did you also come into possession of some emails that were exchanged between Wendy Adelson and Donna Adelson?
We did.
All right, I'm going to show you what I've marked as State's Exhibit 57. Have you had an opportunity to review those emails
Yes, I have.
prior to today, which we can't find? Have you had a chance to review
I
those?
know how the
before
internet
today?
works.
I have.
Okay. Anything in those emails that goes to motive in
Those are
your
good banana.
investigation?
Yes, there is.
And what is that?
She was being very assertive. Mrs. Adelson, Mrs. Donald Adelson, was being very assertive with Wendy Adelson,
Sounds about right.
trying to influence her to do different things to Mr. Markel to get him to agree to let her and the children to move to South Florida.
And what was the thing that was expressly stated in these emails as the most important part of Wendy's whole divorce and litigation?
It was relocation to South Florida to be close to the family.
All right. And was there mention in those emails of a bribe that was to be offered to Dan Markel to potentially facilitate this relocation?
There was.
And who was going to pay for the bribe?
There was going to be a three-way payment between Donna and Harvey Adelson. We're going to pay 33% of it. Charlie Adelson would pay 33%, and then Wendy would pay the other 33%.
All right. And what was the total amount of this potential bribe?
$1 million.
All right. Was there any financial benefit to Wendy Adelson that occurred as a result of Dan Martell's death?
There was.
What were those that benefit or benefits?
There was at least, I believe, a couple of life insurance policies, one of which was around $2 million. There was Social Security benefits to the kids that were provided, I believe, like $4,800 a month. There was a 401k that he left behind, and some other accounts.
Pension as well?
Yes, there was a pension.
Okay. And some deferred comp, $217,000 there?
That's correct.
Okay. You mentioned the 401k. Do you recall how much money was in that?
I don't off the top of my head.
Okay. Is there something that could refresh your memory on that?
Possibly.
Does $100,000 sound right?
Yes, it does.
All right. As part of the investigation in this case, you looked at sort of the people closest to Dan. Did you also investigate the day of the homicide and his routine or activities that day?
We did.
And what did you learn about his schedule that day?
That morning, he had custody of the kids that day, of his two children, his two boys. He took them to daycare over off of West Tharp Street, dropped them off around 8:50 a.m., and then drove back across town and went to Premier Gym right off of McClay Boulevard, Thomasville Road, Capitol Circle area.
Was there any surveillance images captured outside the gym that showed the vehicles coming and going from there?
Yes, there was some exterior cameras on the gym itself, on the roof of the gym.
And did that surveillance, were you able to identify from that surveillance which vehicle was Dan Markell's vehicle arriving at the gym?
Yes, we were.
Okay, and was there another vehicle that appeared to be a suspect vehicle captured in this video?
That's correct.
And why did you describe, or why am I describing this other vehicle as a suspect vehicle?
We did obtain multiple pieces of footage, video footage around town, also showing that it appeared a light green Prius was following Mr. Markell wherever he went that morning.
And was that description of a vehicle consistent with the description that Mr. Geiger gave us of the vehicle that he saw leaving the crime scene?
That's correct.
All right. Was there a compilation of relevant clips or parts of this video surveillance collected from Premier Gym to show the jury just sort of the relevant portions?
There was.
And you've had an opportunity to review that?
I have.
Okay, and those images are fair and accurate clips or portions of the Premier Gym surveillance video?
That's correct.
Judge, I'd asked to introduce into evidence that Premier video surveillance footage at this time, which I believe is 83. We checked that.
Any objection?
Objection.
States 83 is moved.
States 83, Your Honor, and that's going in the form of. What did you say by 83? It's in the form of a disc, Your Honor, but I'd ask for permission to publish by way of the laptop. All right, if you'll kind of walk us through what we're looking at here, and we may need to pause when he starts talking.
This is from the roof of the Premier Gym. This is off of the north side facing toward the Fresh Market, that area. If you're familiar with that area, Fresh Market's off to the right. There's an entrance to the right of the screen, and there's also the main entrance, which is way further left of the screen that you can't see here.
All right, well, this is a portion of the parking lot that's where the cars are lined up there.
That's correct. Those
Okay.
are vehicles parked in the parking lot of the gym.
All right, let's publish. Okay, we're seeing a blue circle around a dark vehicle. Could you tell us what that indicates?
That is Mr. Markell's vehicle.
And this is him entering the gym at 9:11.
That's correct. He just came into the parking lot and is going
Sad
around to
watching
the
his
front side
last
of the
moments
gym.
here, man.
All right, now what are we looking at?
This is just a different angle, a little bit further back, and this is
Set
Mr.
up
Markel
by your crazy ex-wife and
immediately
her
preceding
rich
the
fuckface
video we
family.
just saw, where he's coming into the front of the gym.
All right, and is he going to park somewhere?
Yes, he parks right behind that American flag.
All right, that was 9:12. What is this camera angle?
This is the same angle, it's
Saw
just
that
a
on
little bit
Friday,
further
dude.
to the left, and that is the front of the gym right there, where the green Prius just drove right in front of the front door of the gym.
So they entered the parking lot through different entrances.
That's correct. They entered over off of the west side of the parking lot.
All right, so we see the Prius here, and we know where Mr. Markel's parked there behind the flagpole. What is that?
Correct. He's still in the vehicle, just exited the vehicle there, I believe.
All right, so the blue circle indicates that's him getting out of his vehicle.
Correct.
And where's the Prius at this time?
The Prius continued on through the parking lot on the north side, and
All right, now we're at 9:13 a.m. Is that Mr. Markel in the red?
yes, it is.
Do we have any reason to believe that any suspects entered the gym?
No, we do not.
How long was Professor Markel inside the gym?
I believe about an hour and a half. I believe it's about 10:38 when he leaves, somewhere around there.
All right, and what are we looking at here outside at 9:16 a.m.?
9:16, the green Prius is still driving through the parking lot, but it's coming back from where it had passed through,
Following and working.
coming back toward the gym.
Fredo and Rivera.
This is on the south side of the parking lot of the gym. And the green Prius just drove through there and is driving around the parking lot still. Again, the vehicle is turned around and is coming back toward the gym in the same parking lot.
Almost managed to get in a wreck there.
Just missed.
I could have changed the events of that day if he would have gotten into a wreck. If they would have gotten into a wreck.
Okay, what's happening here?
This is Mr. Markel exiting the lobby of the gym, coming through the lobby.
All right, now at 10:34, what do we see?
We see Mr. Markel walking away from the front doors of the into the parking lot toward his vehicle.
Still lurking. Where they at? Where they at?
So we saw Mr. Markel's vehicle leaving. Is that the Prius that was back there in that orange circle?
That's correct. They were in the far northwest part of the parking lot parked, and when he exited, they started to exit. And he exited on the Village Square Boulevard exit.
So we never saw anybody exit the Prius during the surveillance video.
No, we did
They
not.
stayed in the car the whole time.
That's correct.
Were you able to learn anything about the suspect vehicle from the surveillance images as far as the color?
We were able to determine the approximate view range of that type of vehicle based on the body style, going through the Toyota dealership and other experts. We were able to determine that it was a 2006 to 2009 Toyota Prius with a silver pine mica is the name of the paint, which is kind of a light green.
Were you able to learn anything or find any other surveillances to establish anything about the route the victim took to and from the gym?
Yes, we were.
What evidence was that?
Yeah, this is after they were already. This is the day he was killed. This is already after a bitter divorce that was taking place between Dan and Wendy, and some co-parenting issues where Wendy wanted to take the kids closer to her family, Donna, the grandparents, Charlie, and Dan did not want that to happen.
Able to obtain city bus video. All the city buses have video on the exterior and the interior of them. We went back along the route that he took, and we believe he took, and reviewed bus footage video of that and found footage of both vehicles.
All right, and just to try to get our timeline as narrow as we can, this gym video ends at 10:38 a.m. What time did the 911 call come in?
Came in, I believe, 11:02.
And have you had an opportunity to review the exhibit, State's Exhibit 84, with the video from the buses that's been put together similarly to how we did the gym surveillance?
Yes, I have.
And is it fair and accurate?
It is.
Judge, at this time I'd ask to introduce State's, let me check on the exhibit numbers, 84, correct? 84, which is the bus video clips.
Any objection?
No objection.
States 84 is admitted.
What are bus videos? Where are cameras mounted on city buses?
On the exterior and the interior of the buses, and it's for safety purposes and for review purposes for the city.
How were you able to know how to find this stuff?
We were able to find out which routes the bus took, but which buses took which routes at which times. So we looked for that exact bus route along Thomasville Road during that time period.
Okay, so did you have to look through quite a bit of footage to get the little bits we're going to look at?
Yes, the team did.
Okay. All right, permission to publish States 84, Your Honor.
You may.
And the actual exhibit is in the form of a disc. All right, so where are we right here on the video?
This is right in front of the Circle K gas station, which is right on Thomasville Road at the Capitol Circle flyover. I believe it's Maclay Commerce Boulevard is the actual road that they're on.
All right, so if we're the bus, we're on Maclay Commerce.
That's correct. And the Circle K is to the right, and right in front of us is Thomasville Road with the divider where Capitol Circle flyover starts.
And what does the blue circle indicate?
That is the
I need a close-up on the binder. Can we get that close-up on the binder, please?
vehicle of Mr. Markel.
What time are we seeing him pass that area?
And that is at 10:44.
Okay, so is that consistent with going back home from the gym?
That's correct.
Okay. And this is bus, we've got a couple different buses in play here, right? This one's 505?
Correct, 505.
Okay. Proceed, please.
Hell yeah, love that, man. The chat's full of folks rocking the publicly buzzed merch in the streets. Gabby, good morning. Love to hear that.
And what does the orange circle indicate?
That is the green Prius that was in the parking lot of Premier Gym.
All right, we're still on bus 505. What is this showing?
So this is on Thomasville Road heading south, just south of the I-10. This is the entrance where the hospital is to the right. It's a red light.
By hospital, you're talking about the new ER.
The new ER, exactly, about I-10 and Thomasville Road.
Were you able to get the tag number from this image from the bus?
No, unfortunately we weren't. The resolution on these cameras are set really low because they're saved on DVRs, and they don't want them to roll over too fast, so they set the resolution extremely low, and we were not able to pull anything out of that.
Where is Professor Markel's vehicle at this point?
It is past the red light. It's already made it through the red light. Still heading south on Thomasville Road.
And that's almost 10:48 a.m. Is that time correct at the bottom there?
Correct.
Okay, and now we're at 10:51 p.m. I'm sorry, a.m. Still bus 505. What will you pause it, please? What does the orange circle indicate here? Where are we, and what does the circle indicate?
We're still southbound on Thomasville Road. This intersection is Benton Road, which is where Winthrop Park is. Benton Road is where the cars are stopped at. In the left-hand turn lane on the far left side of the screen is the green Prius waiting to turn left on the Benton Road.
And is that a route to get to Professor Markel's residence on Trescott?
That's correct.
And that's 10:51 a.m.?
Correct.
Okay.
What's up, Afton? Good morning.
Alright, now have we gone to a different bus?
Yes, this is bus 707.
And what are we looking at on bus 707?
So this is northbound on Thomasville Road at Hermitage. This is at 10:55 a.m. and there's two lanes there. They're in the right-hand lane. The bus is in the right-hand lane, but the camera's on the outside of the bus looking backwards. So you'll see oncoming traffic coming behind the bus.
And what do we see here?
We see the green Prius pulling up next to the bus.
So this is 10:55. We last saw him at 10:51. Is that narrower murder window down to that 4 minutes?
That's correct. This is north of where the victim was, and this is coming from the victim's house.
I think we've prepared a second clip, if you just let it play through, of that in slow motion. Tell us what we're supposed to be looking for in this clip.
So you can see inside the vehicle, even though it has tinted windows, you can see the driver's wearing dark clothes, but the passenger appears to have a long sleeve white shirt on, and he's very animated in the passenger seat. You can also see some distinctive features of the call.
Okay, I think we've got this highlighted here in a moment. What are these distinctive features? Leave positive.
So the first one on the lower right-hand corner is what's called a tow hook cover. Vehicles in the bumper have, some vehicles have a little plate in there that you can remove, and it has a metal hook inside of it, so a tow truck can hook to that metal hook and pull the car if it needs to. This particular vehicle is missing its tow hook cover. You can see there's a hole in the front bumper, so it's been removed and not been replaced. Also on the front windshield is a sun pass. It was affixed to the windshield. And then on the far left side of the screen is the black rear view mirror of the vehicle. Toyota Priuses made in those years had matching mirrors. The mirrors were painted with the car, same color of the car. And you can see in the video that the driver's side mirror was still painted, but the passenger side mirror was black, indicating it had been damaged and been replaced by an aftermarket mirror.
Okay. And what is a SunPass transponder?
SunPass transponders are used primarily in South Florida, especially back then. We didn't really have any SunPass toll booths up here, but they're used to pay for tolls going on toll roads, and where you don't have to stop and pay cash
Charlie
in the
right
toll
now is
booth.
thinking, Jesus Christ.
You can pay for it. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
You can pay for it in advance, assign it to your car, create an account, and fix it to your vehicle, so you don't have to stop going through toll booths.
When you observed that it appeared there was a SunPass transponder on this vehicle back at this time, when did you obtain this video, do you know?
This is back in 2014.
Adelson, thanks for that share.
Did it
Appreciate
signify to you this vehicle may have come from South Florida?
That's correct.
What efforts were made to follow up on the SunPass?
So we ended up working with an investigator with Florida Department of Transportation who maintains Florida SunPass. So gave them subpoenas, and we ended up thinking the best route for somebody to go through South Florida, the SunPass, would be through Orlando. We obtained video in Orlando to try to see if that green Prius passed through any of the toll booths there. We also obtained a list of all green Priuses in that year range that had a registered SunPass to it.
How many of those were there?
Thousands.
All right, let's let this exhibit finish. In the review here, can you explain what this is?
This is the same bus as the light turned green at Hermitage going north on Thomasville, and this is the green Prius passing the bus.
So as far as pulling the needle out of the haystack, finding this one Prius, it didn't work as from the SunPass alone.
No, not from the SunPass alone.
All right, was any work done to try to zero in on some cell phone analysis around the locations where we know the suspect Prius was that day?
Yes, there was.
Okay, and was Sergeant Corbett the person responsible for working on the cell phone analysis?
He was.
Including looking for any phones of interest traveling in those areas that might have been following Dan Markell.
That's correct.
All right, and based on the analysis that we're going to hear from Sergeant Corbett, did you develop an idea of the route that the suspects may have taken?
We did.
I know you said you had already tried the SunPass booths in Orlando, which is one potential route to South Florida.
That's correct.
Okay. What did the phone evidence lead you to look at instead of that route?
We were able to obtain those phone records that showed the vehicle traveled down 75 and did not go through Orlando. Took I-10 to 75 all the way down, actually on the way up also, but on the way down 75 through Tampa, through Naples, then across Alligator Alley on 75 to Miami.
I want to get some new emojis rocking for this one.
All right, so sort
Trying
of
to get
not
that's why
the
I brought back the
expected
green screen also, trying to get a little bit of a different vibe in here.
route.
Correct. It's a
Change it up a little bit.
longer route than going through the turnpike down through Orlando.
Okay, and you already suspected the vehicle was headed south, I guess, based on just the existence of the SunPass transponder.
Correct.
Okay, and that's sort of corroborated by these phone records.
Correct.
All right. So now that you learned that the vehicle traveled this other route through Alligator Alley.
From what I have looked into with the calls with Charlie, I think she was pretty blunt about, getting the hell out of the country. She's pretty flagrant with the way she was using the language to say, "Hey, we're getting the fuck out of Dodge," after Charlie was arrested, or after Charlie was convicted, rather. They talk
Did you
too
find
much.
any place where the sun pass transponder went through?
Did none of the Adelsons ever watch The Sopranos? You go to a secluded area where there can be no wiretaps, where there can be no one around, and that's where you have your discussion about your crimes. All right?
There are some toll booths that you have to go through if you go that route as well, right?
That's
Sure
correct.
not on
Where
a
are
jailhouse
those located?
They're basically on Alligator Alley. There's one going eastbound on the, going westbound on the east side in Broward County. When you leave Miami going across Alligator Alley, there's one there going, if you're traveling westbound. And then on the way back, there was one going eastbound just outside of Naples.
And were you able to find a Prius going through those sun passes that might have been our Prius?
Yes, we were.
How were you able to do that? What did
Seriously,
you
how
ask for?
We asked for particular times. We knew about what times they went through the toll booths. We asked for any green Priuses around those times that had activated the sun pass.
And how many green Priuses traveled through the sun pass booths, both going and coming at in the same time windows you were looking for?
Just one.
All right, and from that, were you able to identify the particular sun pass transponder that we were looking for that was affixed to the suspect vehicle?
We were.
How'd you do that?
We went back to Florida Department of Transportation and asked for that particular details of that transponder. They gave us a subscriber for that particular one.
And who was the subscriber?
It was a company called Hybrid Auto Rental, also called Save Gas, and it's out of down on Biscayne Boulevard in North Miami.
All right, did you go there?
I did.
All right, what did you learn about the suspect vehicle from Save Gas?
By the time we got there, he'd already sold the vehicle. It was over a year later, but it was rented by Luis Rivera. He provided us with the basically receipt, the contract where it was rented during that time period.
So from the paperwork that you got from Save Gas, you learned you got a rental contract that showed who rented the vehicle?
That's correct.
Okay, and also any information about the vehicle itself, like a VIN or a tag number?
Yes, correct. It gave all the information on the vehicle too.
What is this place Save Gas like? Is that like an enterprise or something else?
No, it's a small, locally owned, individually owned car rental place that kind of repairs his own vehicles, buys and sells vehicles and rents them out.
All right, Judge, at this time I'd ask to introduce the rental agreement, states 58.
No objection. States 58 is admitted. Yes, at the top left, it's the renter information is Luis Rivera. It has his address that matches his driver's license address, and then it has a telephone number down below that.
This phone number here?
Correct.
And was this information up here also of interest to law enforcement?
It was. That number that has brother next to it, that was one of the numbers of interest that gave us the pattern going down to South Florida.
Was this muscle associated with a person eventually?
It was.
Who's that person?
Sigfredo Garcia.
We've got some other information on here about when the vehicle was rented. Were you able to deduce from this when the vehicle was due back?
Yes, it was supposed to be back. I believe that's toward the bottom, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you. I'm sorry, yeah. So the date it was rented was 7/15 at 6:15 p.m. and it was due back on 7/17.
So July 15th of 2014?
Correct, 2014.
That's when it was rented.
Correct.
And it was supposed to be back July 17th?
Correct. That was the
And
date
did it
due
get
back.
returned on time?
No, it did not.
All right, is there anything on that document in reference to the extension of time?
Yes, down at the bottom it also shows that from 7/18 through 7/20 it says I believe 965 paid cash, and then 7/20 to 7/21 so it shows a $55 balance and some other numbers where they ended up having to pay it, and some other notes about paying cash out of the deposit.
So it looks like they didn't return it until July 21st.
That's correct.
All right, and you said that the phone number listed on top there with the word brother turned out to be Sigfredo Garcia's phone number. How do we know that's his phone number?
It was listed one time on a Facebook page that was associated with him, and also listed on a pawn receipt where he'd pawned some, I believe it was some jewelry, and used his fingerprint on that, had to place his fingerprint on the pawn receipt when he did it, and he listed that phone number as his.
I want to publish what's been introduced as states. Have you introduced it? I'm going to show you states 59 first. Ask you if you recognize states 59.
I do.
How do you recognize it?
I recognize it as an exhibit that lists the subjects in this investigation.
And is the information contained on the exhibit fair and accurate?
Yes.
Judge has to introduce states 59.
Okay. States 59 is a minute.
All right, so you were saying there was a Facebook post or a Facebook account linked to this phone number with a photograph of Sigfredo Garcia as the owner of the account.
Correct. It was labeled Tudo Day, but it was a picture of Sanford.
Right. And throughout the course of your investigation, have you come to know Tudo Dade or Tudo as a nickname for Sigfredo Garcia?
That's correct.
And does anybody else on this State's Exhibit 59 have a nickname?
Yes.
Who is that?
Luis Rivera is also known as Tato.
Tato and Tuto, another tag team.
And were you able to subpoena phone records for all the people shown on this State's Exhibit 59?
We were.
All right, and establish phone numbers for the phone numbers they were all using at the time of the homicide?
That's correct.
Did you conduct any investigation into Catherine Magbanua and her employment status around the time of this homicide?
We did.
What did you learn about her employment status?
At the time of the homicide, she was shortly after the homicide, I believe it was about 2 months after the homicide, she became employed with the Adelson Institute.
Okay, but at the actual time
Bitch was getting money for doing nada. Nothing.
of the homicide, anything other than maybe odd jobs?
Right. Just odd jobs and maybe some bartending work.
Outside of setting
What
up
is
a
the
hit.
Adelson Institute?
It's a family-owned dentist practice in South Florida.
All right, and did you go to the Adelson Institute?
I did.
Did you attempt to subpoena employment records for Catherine Magbanua at that business?
Yes, I did.
All right, tell us about that.
Myself and Investigator Isom approached the business with a subpoena. Went in, spoke with the lady at the front desk, told her we had a subpoena for records for Catherine Magbanua. Made some inquiries about her employment there, and they continued to bring somebody else up and talk to us about it, and then went back in the back and made a phone call.
All right, so when you went in there, Catherine Magbanua was not physically present there.
She was not.
Okay. Was she still receiving checks at the time that you went in there?
Yes, I believe she was.
Okay. And did the employees in there seem to know what she did there?
No, not at all.
All right. Were you eventually provided with some documentation from that business?
Later on, yes.
I'm going to show you what I've marked as State 60. Do you
Yes.
recognize it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what is state 16?
It's a list of checks that were issued to Catherine McManwell.
And is this exhibit the complete information?
Another random share on X going to shout out here. Triple L. Thank you very much, Triple L. Appreciate it.
That you were provided by the Adelson Institute in response to your subpoena for the entire employee file of Catherine McManwell.
Yes, this is it. This is all they provided.
All right, and you mentioned a list of checks. Was there anything in here that... We're getting that feedback. IT, if you're listening, we need feedback support. Any indication of what her job was there?
No.
Any indication of like her schedule?
No.
Timesheets?
Nothing.
An employment application?
Nope.
W-2?
Nope.
Any tax forms?
No.
Performance evaluations?
Odd.
Anything like that?
Nothing.
And over what period
The red flags with this stuff.
was
is
she being
crazy.
paid according to the records that were provided to you?
I believe it started in September of 14 and went through early 2016, maybe.
March 31st
March.
of 16?
That's correct.
And so those payments began about 2 months after the homicide?
Correct.
And did you notice in the records that were provided that some of the check numbers were consecutive, meaning consecutive numbers?
Yes, we did.
Did you ever get any evidence that Ms. McManwell was physically going to the Adelson Institute to perform any kind of duties there?
No, we never obtained any evidence to show that at all.
All right, and there was some surveillance at some time being performed of her person, right?
That's correct.
Can you tell us about that? What time frame was she being monitored?
We started monitoring her in late 2015, probably November. Basically, electronic surveillance on her residence. Plus, we also were monitoring her phone, location services on her phone historically and prospectively too.
And how long was that the case? How long was she being monitored? What period of time?
Electronic video surveillance was from November of 15 until she no longer lived at that apartment.
All right, and through any of those means that you described, were you able to deduce what it was she was doing for the Adelson Institute in person or remotely?
No, not at all.
All right, and we heard in opening that there was a wiretap in this case. Anything on the wiretap that indicated what she was doing for that business?
There was a couple of references about cleaning up on the weekends. That was about it, though.
Okay, and again, we would have known if she'd gone there to clean up on the weekends, right? At least during the time frame she described.
That's correct.
And that didn't happen.
It did not.
Okay. 1 moment, please, Joanne. No further questions.
Thank you.
Ms. Kappelman, if you can move the left turn slightly over to the left, and it's not pulling any wires, is it?
Don't think so.
I'm going to move it anyway.
Okay.
I'm going to move it way over.
A little cross here.
Try not to jockey with the microphones because that might be causing some of the feedback.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Frustrated. Let's actually start where we left off, the checks.
Okay.
Okay. The checks began 2 months after the date that Professor Markel was murdered, give or take.
That's what the date on the checks were for that employment, correct?
And the checks were in batches, right? Often.
They seem to be the sequence of Check numbers were in batches, correct.
So just so everyone understands what that means, you would see a check for check number 1, 2, 3, and 4, for instance. And you would see those checks, even though they were the next checks in the book, they'd be for payments every 2 weeks, essentially.
Correct. What I observed was a few checks in sequence, and at the bottom it would give date ranges of when they were for, and they would be for 2-week segments, and then the very next check was for another 2-week segment later on, and then there was other checks in the system that were dated out of range of those.
So it looked like Ms. Magbanawa was given a stack of checks at a time, for instance. Fair assumption?
Sometimes, yes.
Okay. Those checks, when you added them up, they were about $1,000 a month, right?
I believe so. Yeah, it was like $460 a month or something like that. Or every 2 weeks, I mean.
$460 every 2 weeks.
Correct.
Which, not great at math. $920, and there's taxes, a little bit of taxes taken out, right?
Sure. Correct.
So about $1,000 a month.
Correct.
Now, I think you testified that the state's theory of why this murder occurred was partially a murder because of the desire of Miss Adelson to relocate. I think that's what you testified on direct. Is that fair to say?
That's fair.
You're aware that the relocation motion was denied in June of 2013, right?
Correct.
And that's more than a full year before the murder, right?
The relocation was in June of 13? Yes.
The murder was in middle of July of 2014.
Right. Correct.
As part of your investigation, did you learn that no one really thought the relocation motion was going to be successful?
I don't know about no one, but there was some indication that they thought it might not be successful, correct?
Did you try to speak to Miss Adelson's lawyer?
I did not know. Tallahassee Police Department did at one point.
And did they learn that the motion was, as she says in an email, a moonshot?
I don't know that.
Now, you discussed in your direct examination, you talked about some of these emails. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Actually, before we get there. No, actually, let's get it. Those emails, you reviewed them?
I reviewed some of them, not all of them. The team did.
Okay. Out of the ones that you reviewed, anything in those emails about murder?
About murder? No.
Anything in those
Murder
emails
was the
about
case that
violence?
gave me.
Not that I saw, no.
Anything in those emails about any type of illegal activity at all?
Not that I recall. I mean, the bribe itself wouldn't be illegal, I don't think.
In fact, with regard to the $1 million email, I think is the one that you're referring to, did you see emails where they were consulting lawyers
Charlie
about
has
whether...
a face of like, I want to interject here and do this myself. It looks like he doesn't like the line of question.
that $1 million
His lawyer.
offer was legal?
I did.
So fair to say, as crazy as the emails were, we agree they're crazy, right?
Yes.
There was at least some sanity to make sure what they were doing was legal, right?
One portion of it, yes.
Now, those emails, did you see any emails where any of these ideas were coming from Charlie Adelson?
I saw some emails where they were discussed with him, apparently.
But any time where he was actually coming up with the ideas, as opposed to being copied on the email where he says, okay, sounds good.
I think there was some reference of her saying she discussed it with him, but I did not see emails from him. No.
Meaning Donna discussing it with
Correct.
his mother.
Correct.
The $1 million email, I think we'll talk about this later in more detail when you're back. But let's just tie it up here a little bit. You've listened to Mr. Adelson on the phone a lot, right?
I did.
Is it fair to say he's a big talker?
That's fair.
Is it fair to say he repeats himself a lot?
That is very fair.
Through your investigation, are you aware that this $1 million idea, where Mr. Adelson was going to lend a third of $1 million, that he talked to a lot of people about that idea? Are you aware of that through your investigation?
I am not aware of that.
Now, back to the divorce. Are you aware that the divorce between Professor Markel and Miss Adelson was finalized in July of 2013?
That's my understanding, yes, correct.
Again, that's about a year before the murder, correct?
Correct.
And after Miss Adelson's relocation motion was denied, are you aware that she was determined to make a life for herself in Tallahassee?
I don't know if I can speak to that.
Well, let me see if I can help you. You went through Miss Adelson's emails as well in your investigation?
I did not. The team did.
Did anyone from the team talk to you about those emails?
Some of them.
All right, well, let's see if you're aware of some of these. Are you aware that she was looking to buy property in Tallahassee?
No, it was not.
You didn't see any emails to that effect?
I did not personally, no.
Are you aware that she was looking to enroll her kids in schools, a new school in Tallahassee, for the fall of 2014? In other words, after the time when Mr. Markel was murdered.
I know there was discussions about that with Mr. Markel. I am aware of that.
Are you aware that she was scheduling plans with friends in Tallahassee for August of 2014 and for the fall of 13, all of which would have occurred after the murder? Are you aware of that?
No.
You didn't see those in any emails that you reviewed?
I did not see those, no.
Are you aware that she was scheduling business meetings for late July 2014? See emails on that?
I did not see that, no.
Are you aware that she purchased plane tickets leaving for Tallahassee to go to a wedding out of state? Those plane tickets were purchased in June, but they were purchased for an October wedding. She bought plane tickets to leave from Tallahassee. Are you aware of that?
No.
Are you aware that her family, including Mr. Adelson,
Look at these reactions.
was planning to come up to Tallahassee in August 2014 when Miss Adelson was going to be honored at FSU?
No.
You didn't see any emails on that either, did you?
I didn't.
But you're aware that the state subpoenaed Miss Adelson's emails, right?
I am.
Now, you also mentioned this, I like to call it the grandmother motion. Can we call it that?
Sure.
In March of 2014, there's these, it actually starts earlier. It starts, can I have that big binder?
It was February.
Yes.
The clerk has it.
All right, well, I'm not, it's okay. Somewhere in that big binder, there's a bunch of litigation back and forth with Miss Adelson and Professor Markel regarding money.
Yes.
And at some point in the course of a motion that Wendy Adelson filed, Professor Markel files a motion back, and that's when he seeks to have only supervised visits of the kids with Donna Adelson. That's the motion you were talking about with Ms. Kaufman, correct?
Correct.
And that occurs in early 2014, right?
It does.
Now, the motion doesn't get heard because Ms. Adelson's lawyer has to recuse herself, right?
I believe so.
And she has to recuse herself because Professor Markel makes allegations against that lawyer as well.
I'm not aware of that, but okay.
And so that's part of the reason of the delay of why the motion's not heard. Are you aware of that?
I am, correct.
Are you aware that in the course of this litigation, in that binder, I don't want to find the page, I won't be able to, that the court chastised, was critical of Professor Markel on this motion?
No, I'm not aware of that.
Are you aware that the court highlighted that the motion probably wouldn't be granted?
No, I did not. I did not see that.
The jury looks at it. Are you aware that on July 11th, 2014, this is months after that motion. Well, let me back up. When you studied this case, is it fair to say that with all the litigation, there were good periods of times after the divorce between Professor Markel and Miss Adelson as well, right?
I can't speak to that. My partner did most of that research, so I was not very familiar with it.
Fair enough. Well, are you aware that on July 11th, 2014, so this is several months after the grandmother motion, that Professor Markel asked Donna and Harvey Adelson to watch the kids for him?
I am not aware of that.
Are you aware that he had a function to go to and Miss Adelson had another function to go to, and he didn't have child care for them, and he asked them to watch the kids for him?
No.
7 days before the murder?
Not aware of it.
Oh, wow. Ms. Kappelman on direct asked you about a life insurance policy. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Welcome in here.
And she asked you, she made it seem like, well, let me be clear. Was it your position that Wendy Adelson gained $2 million from that life insurance policy?
I believe there is I believe that Mr. Markel's sister has custody of that and is supposed to distribute it to, I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but I believe distribute to the children as needed.
So let me be clear so the jury's not confused. Are you aware that Professor Markel had a life insurance policy in March of 2012?
I'm not sure of the dates, but I knew he had one.
And that originally Wendy Adelson was the beneficiary of that policy?
That sounds right.
But in October of 2012, 2 years before his murder, he signed the policy over, making his sister the beneficiary and the custodian for his boys. Are you aware of that?
I wasn't sure of the date, but yes, I'm aware of that.
So Wendy Adelson isn't permitted to get any money from that policy without Professor Markel's sister, correct?
Yes, without her sister, yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure that's clear. Special Agent, you've been an FBI agent for almost 25 years.
Correct.
Mostly in Miami, right?
No, in here in Tallahassee.
In Tallahassee, okay. Apologies. You've investigated, fair to say, maybe more than a dozen murders?
Fair to say.
How many murders for hire have you done?
Recently?
In your life?
Over my lifetime, probably half a dozen, but in the past 2 years, 2.
So, putting this
On the
case aside,
rise.
which I know you believe is a murder for hire, putting this case aside, in those cases that you've done that were murder for hires, did the hitman get paid over time?
paid over time? Not in those cases.
Never, right? In your experience.
Not in those particular cases, no.
Because hitmen, they usually don't like to be connected to the people they're doing a hit for, right?
It's case by case basis.
But in your experience, hitmen get paid before and after. 2 payments or 1 payment.
It depends on circumstances.
How about in the ones you've done?
Depends on circumstances. Sometimes after, sometimes before, sometimes both.
But in your cases, that's it. It's either before or 1 payment after, right?
The ones I've investigated have been, we made arrests on them, so they didn't continue on.
Okay. You made arrests immediately on them?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever done an extortion case?
Yes, but it's been years ago.
You've seen a lot of extortion cases, I'm sure, at the Bureau?
Sure.
How do people get paid in extortion cases?
Different ways.
Mostly they get paid over time, right?
They can, if the extortion continues, yes.
May I have 1 moment, Your Honor? I have nothing further to add.
Redirect examination.
In reference to the money that is set aside for the boys, how does the money get to the little kids from the sister?
Through Wendy Adelson has to make those requests and then provide.
So, those emails you ever about what was the number one objective for Wendy?
Relocation to South Florida to be close to family.
And going through the courts, that failed, right?
Correct, it did.
So whether it was a moonshot or not, it didn't work.
That's correct.
And as far as making sure the bribe to Dan Markel was going to be legal, what would Dan Markel have done if they had done something illegal?
He would have held it against him.
Would have nailed their butts with it, wouldn't he?
Absolutely.
Can't do that now, can he?
Fajitas in the chat. Thank you very much. Let me fix that real quick. Do have a fajita emoji also for any times that for any time that happens in the future. Any new folks, just let me know and I will fix it.
Yeah.
Did any of those plans that were going to take place in Tallahassee after the murder happen?
No, they did not.
Did Wendy buy a house in Tallahassee?
No, she didn't.
Did Wendy fly out of Tallahassee to go to a wedding?
No.
Did the boys go to school that fall here in Tallahassee?
No, they didn't.
Where did they go to school?
In South Florida, right across the street from where Grandma lives.
Why didn't those plans happen in Tallahassee?
Because Mr. Markel was murdered.
Did the grandma motion you were asked about, they said, well, it probably wasn't going to get granted. Well, it didn't get granted or denied, did it?
Never was heard.
Why not?
Because he was murdered.
No further questions.
It is Sanford, you may step down for now. Members of the jury will only take a brief break before we hear from the next witness.
Where are we going next? I want to see what the time is on the next one here. Moving through this trial again. It feels weird. Oh, whoa. We're going into Wendy, who is 3 hours. Okay, that will be where we... Man, what are we going to do here? So, we're going into Wendy, who is 3 hours and 7 minutes on the stand. So, I'm not going to be doing that today. But Tuesday night... we're going to be starting with Wendy, and we'll either make Wendy a 2-night deal, or we'll do Tuesday and Thursday, or maybe I'll start early on Tuesday night and go all the way through. If I start about 7, that would take us through to probably, with pausing and depending on how fast we do it, 10-something, I would imagine. Then we do book club. We'll fill it out. I will fill it out. See what I'm feeling. So Wendy is going to be next on the stand, and then in real time, Donna Adelson's trial, which is coming back tomorrow morning, Wendy will be the next witness in that case. So Got some Wendy Adelson ahead of us here. So, and everybody coming through this morning, I really appreciate it. Let's look at that poll real quick that I put up here. A lot of folks coming through. After 56 votes, is Wendy going down next is the question. And right now, winning is She Is Fucked at 38%, but it is very, very close. Not sure 36%, and of course 27%. So it's very split on how folks think Wendy Adelson's future is going to lie. Again, will she be picked up like her brother, like her mother, go down like the hitman as well? We will only see in time. So, wow, love it. Everybody coming through here, appreciate it. This one again is moving very smoothly, so much smoother than Phil Spector. I'd imagine we will be into season 7 before we know it, and I don't think anything will ever take quite as long as Phil Spector actually did. But one thing I'm also doing today, we're going to be streaming, and I'm actually going to send this stream into my tonight stream for my second channel. I have a second channel for wrestling where I stream wrestling and I make wrestling videos and content. But tonight on Sundays, I stream at 6 Eastern, and we're watching the year 1989 from Memphis, the Memphis area in Tennessee, CWA. And anybody that, if you're not a wrestling fan, I get it, but hopefully you can come through, show a little bit of love, and if you do get portaled into there, if you could hit the like ski, that helps us out either freaking way. So I appreciate everyone for coming through here this morning. Again, have a great rest of your Sunday, and yeah, I'll see you Tuesday night here again on Murder Church if you don't come through tonight. Tuesday night, keep an eye on socials. Make sure that you are following on X. Have the bell clicked here on YouTube. That way you miss no information and any kind of updates that I may be putting out pertaining to the Charlie Adelson trial. And then I'm trying to live tweet the Donna Adelson trial. I did pretty good with that on Friday. So make sure you're following there as well, because we are in deep, folks. Again, anybody that comes through Tuesday, after that show, we got a book club. The Murder Church After Buzz Nation Book Club. And I'll be promoting that and pumping that back up as we go into chapters 34 and 35 as we get closer to finishing The Stranger Beside Me, the Ted Bundy book by Ann Rule, everybody. But all you fine folks this morning, got my time all fucked up. I appreciate the shit out of that. And also, I have wrestling on Twitch as well. So yeah, if you mess around with Twitch, I do a dual stream on it, YouTube and Twitch. But yes, come through tonight. Thank you guys. Super awesome. Dandy, thank you. Welcome in here. Hopefully you stick around with us here. But yes, where you're headed right now, please go and give a like ski to this next stream. Thank you guys.
Nothing to see here, please.